For the first time, Huda is confused as to why a guy is not into her. She thinks that every guy that comes around needs to be obsessed with her. They need to kiss the ground that she walks on. But TJ is not into her. Now, y'all, I'm a little bit confused. And I'm just feeling like Nick, Taylor, and Ace, y'all are definitely giving jealous. It's giving hater because I don't get why y'all decided to send Jeremiah home when he has a connection with Andrina. Make it make sense.
Kay Unscripted, no teeth restricted. In this journey, watch our stories unfold.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. It's your girl Kay and I'm back with another recap on Love Island Season 7 episodes 16 and 18. Now, where have I been? Usually my weekends are very booked. I try my best to give you the recap on a Sunday, but unfortunately, this weekend was very heavy. I was extremely tired. We had a very late Saturday night. So I'm here giving you this recap. And before we get into all of the juiciness of these two episodes, please go ahead and like this video, share it with a friend. And if you haven't already, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel so you could get more recaps like this one. And since you've done that, you did it, right? Okay, yes. Thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. Now let's get into this recap. We're on episode 16 and we left off from the challenge with Meg Thee Stallion. Two new bombshells are now in the villa, Adriana and TJ. Adriana is with the guys and TJ is with the girls. They're all getting to know the two new bombshells. So she's sitting with the guys and she says that she just graduated from school. She did global business. And so Jeremiah is asking her what is her type. She said that it's really important for her to have a chemistry and a spark with someone. She asked him what's his type and he said that he's definitely into a foreign Latina woman. She has to be driven and family oriented. And when he started saying that, we see Ace chuckling. Then we see TJ with the girls and they're asking him what's his sign, his favorite food, and his name. So he says his name is TJ, his sign is Sagittarius. Big up Sagittarius. I'm also Sagittarius. And his favorite food is steak. The girls then ask him what's his type and he says everybody. TJ doesn't have a type. Then we see Adriana. She asks Nick if he's open and the man said, yes, I'm open. I am with Sierra. We have something going on, but we're definitely open. And it was giving desperate. It was giving pick me. I need you to give me some attention. Now we know Adriana said that she came into the villa and she had her eyes on Jeremiah and Nick. So Adriana pulls Jeremiah for a chat and they're getting to know each other. They both relate on the fact that they love their family a lot. She said that she's in New Jersey and she has no family there. And she's saying that coming into the villa, being a bombshell, is a little bit difficult for her because she has to steal somebody's man. And Jeremiah's like, you could go right ahead. Please go ahead and steal me. That man looks so happy. TJ then pulls Sierra for a chat and they both connect on the fact that they played baseball. He compliments Sierra. He's telling her, oh girl, you look so much better in person than on camera. The camera does you no justice, Sierra. And so he's asking her what is her connection like with Nick because he knows that they're in a couple. And Sierra says that things are going good, but they are still open to exploring. They are not closed off. Then we get to see a chat between Taylor and Olandria. And she's asking about his nightlife. She's like, do you go to the club? And he's like, yeah, I go to the club. She's like, I'm not talking about no country club. She just had to clarify that. Okay, so he said, okay, even if I'm country, but I'm not, going to country clubs and stuff like that. I'm in the club, booty bouncing and all of that. And she's like, whose booty is bouncing? She says that for her, day life is more important than nightlife. She's into brunching, going out for a cute little lunch and stuff, nice little dinner, but the clubbing is not for her. And I just feel like that's just my opinion. At some point in your life, you're just not into any of that anymore because I don't do clubbing. Let me tell you, in my 20s, I did the clubbing. Trust me, every other weekend I was out, okay? But Now I'm settled in. I'm more looking about having a family life. I'm not into the clubbing and the fits and all of that kind of stuff anymore. That's just me. She then asked him what his life is like in a day, and he's pretty much all into his farm, taking care of his animals all throughout the day, and on weekends he does rodeo. Now I don't really feel like this is something that Olange is really into. Her face gave the expression like, oh, this is a lot. But she did say in her confessional that she feels more connected to him. I still do not see any chemistry between these two. I don't know if maybe we're missing something or we're not seeing things that they're not showing us what's really happening between these two. But personally, I don't see anything happening with them. So while some of the islanders are downstairs, they're eating, see Pepe giving Huda a side hug, right? And she whispers to him and says, actually, I really did want to pull you for a chat. And everybody's like giving a side eye, like, what the hell are they up to? They go up to speak easy. And so Huda is like, well, when you came in, I saw you looking at me, but you never really pulled me for a chat. Now, girl, nobody ever really pulled you for a chat because you were so stuck on Jeremiah. So please don't even get me started. Anyways, they sit down and she's telling him, well, am I your type or no? He didn't say yes or no. He said, I am on personality. So that's to say that he is not into you because he was seeing all of the things and the drama that you were causing her. And so he just says that Hannah has a big personality and he likes it. It's not usually his type, but he's really enjoying getting to know Hannah. She then asks Pepe if he's still open to getting to know other people. He says yes. She starts touching Pepe. Now I feel like Huda gets away with her body. She gets away with being the pretty girl. She gets away with using the physical to get what she wants. And I don't think that works on every guy. She then says in her confessional that it feels really weird, but she does want to get to know other people. But she loves Hannah and she's going to be respectful. But girl, you love her so much you didn't even tell her that you wanted to have a chat with Pepe? Okay. Iris and TJ now have a chat in soul ties, and she's telling him that she feels like she has more of a friendship relationship with Jeremiah. And he's like, oh, you make me so nervous. And he starts throwing all of these compliments at Iris. They're getting to know each other. She said that she's from Calabasas, and he's like, oh, so you have money. He says he's from New York, and she's saying that she doesn't see herself being in such a busy place like New York just because she was raised in a suburban area. And so he's like, what do you like? She says she likes the beach. He says, well, can we get married already? Now I do see the connection between these two because they do end up sharing a kiss. And I'm happy for Iris. She came in as a bombshell. America coupled her up with Jeremiah, but she is flying her own wings. She's finding her way and she has a connection with TJ. So we get the last chat for the night, and it's between Adriana and Nick. Nick has such a big personality. I feel like anybody who's around Nick is always going to be laughing because he is so funny. But they're getting to know each other. They're both 24. He's like, I do love a Spanish girl, even if I've never dated one. Adriana says that she's never had a boyfriend. Nick tells her he's attracted to her and he does want to get to know her better. It's now bedtime and everybody's heading to bed. We see a little bit more chemistry between Shelly and Ace. We see some pecking. We then see a chat between Pepe and Hannah. She's feeling some type of way because she felt like she was there for Huda. And Huda could have just spoken to her and let her know that she wanted to have a chat with Pepe, and I definitely do agree with her because you can't be saying that you're a girl's girl and Hannah was the one that was down for you, gassing you up, encouraging you and telling you to get your shit together, but then you do that and go behind her back. Fine. We also see Sierra and Nick, and it looks like it definitely went down between these two. Now it's the next morning and we know all of the girlies are going to get their breakfast. Now when Nick went upstairs to bring Sierra's breakfast and he peeped that TJ had brought Sierra a cup of tea, Nick was like, hell no. He took that cup of tea and he went downstairs with it. Now we see Nick jumping up and down like a little girl, right? Not like a little girl, sorry. I should say like a kid who just got some candy. So he pulls Ace for a chat and he's telling Ace that he got some from Sierra. And Ace is telling him, look, you need to be careful now because emotions are running high. Now, the funniest part of that conversation was that Nick said it was so fast, but this was the best 25 seconds of his life. I tell you, Nick is funny as hell. But Ace tells him now that emotions are running high, sex takes things to another level. Nick says that being with Sierra made him realize how deep the connection is, but he still wants to be open and explore. And I'm a little bit confused because if you have now realized that you all have this really deep connection, why not close it off, right? You get what I'm saying? And I feel like, Sierra may like TJ, but she's definitely into Nick more. We've seen them have a connection from the minute Sierra came into the villa. So I don't know why Nick still wants to hold off and continue to explore things. Iris then gets a text that reads, Islanders, it's time to stop following the hood in today's challenge. What's your beef? Now we know how these challenges go, but I'm here for it. So here's how the game goes down. The couple must go through an obstacle course with the guy being blindfolded. Once they get to their destination, they must then pick out a name of an islander that they're not coupled up with that they would like to kiss. They share a kiss with the islander, and then they have to collect milk through their mouth, transfer it to the other ones, then spill it into the bucket of truth. And once that is transferred, they must then read the question and select the islander that they're referring to. So the first couple to go up was Taylor and Olandria. And once they got through the obstacle, they both picked the name of the islander that they would like to kiss. Taylor picked Adriana and Olandria picked Ace. This is the second time we've seen Olandria picking Ace for a challenge. So their question was, who do you think has been spreading muck behind people's back? And then they picked Jeremiah. Up next was Austin and Amaya. Amaya got TJ and Austin got Shelly. Now their question was, who do you think is the biggest chicken when it comes to commitment? And of course we know Amaya was going to pick Ace. Now y'all, why did Austin look so disgusted with Amaya? I peeped it in the last challenge too. His face was giving disgust. And his face was giving that same look again for this challenge. Austin, what is going on? Up next was Ace and Shelly. And when they dipped in, Ace got Andrina and Shelly got TJ. Now their question was, who do you think has been planting drama and watching it grow? And of course, they chose they chose Huda. And baby, Ace threw that Ace threw that bucket of milk on Huda the same way she splashed the pie in his face. Up next was Iris and Jeremiah. Iris got Andrina's name and Iris got TJ's name. Now their question was, who thinks they're the cream of the crop? And they picked Taylor. Up next was Hannah and Peppy. Hannah got TJ's name and Peppy got Sierra. Their question was, who do you think is full of bull? And baby, they picked Huda. Now Huda is in her feelings because she feels like she's being targeted. But girl, you've been causing all the drama in the villa, so get with the program. It's now Nick and Sierra's turn. Sierra got Peppy's name and Nick got Andrina. Now Nick was doing the most. But anyway, their question was, who do you think needs to leave the hood? And when they were deciding on the answer, Sierra tells Nick, I know who you want to do already. And I was pleasantly surprised because I thought he was going to go with Huda, but he went with Jeremiah. I'm shocked because I thought these two were very cool. Now, since Huda was single, she had to choose one of the guys, and she went with Peppy. She got TJ's name, and the question was, who do you think is making the biggest mistake? And she picks Jeremiah. TJ and Iris now go up because he picked Iris to go with him since he's single. He got Sierra's name, and Iris also picked Nick. They were swapping partners. Now their question was, who do you think is acting too chicken to speak their mind? Now why did they throw that milk at Hannah like that? And And why did Hannah open her? Y'all are crazy. And lastly, Andrina picks Nick to be her partner. Nick picked Iris and Andrina picked Jeremiah. Now their question was, who do you think is a side chick? And they picked Iris. So the islanders are back at the villa, and so we see a chat between Olandria Taylor and Huda. She's saying that she picked Pepe and didn't realize that they had to make out in the end, and I definitely do not believe Huda. She's saying that she shared a kiss with Pepe and TJ and they both were mourning, and she's like, Hannah is pissed off because I kissed Pepe. Olanjia's asking her, well, did you have a chat with Hannah before to let her know that you were pulling Pepe for chats? She's like, no. And by the face of Olandria, you could tell that she was irritated with her. She's like, girl, out of respect, you should have just told Hannah that you're going to pull Pepe for a chat. It's now later on in the evening, and of course, we know how that works. The guys and the girls, they go upstairs, they get changed, and they're mixing and mingling, having all of these chats. We get to see a conversation between Austin and Jeremiah, and he confirms what I said earlier, that he has the ick. He is not interested in Amaya at this point because he just feels like she's a little too much for him. On the other hand, Amaya is saying how happy she is with Austin, how she's starting to catch feelings for him, and she definitely sees them in the long run outside of the villa. Then we see a conversation between Huda and Hannah, and she's like, girl, I'm so new to this thing, like I don't know the rules and regulations. And Hannah's like, I'm just saying that I've been your friend, I've been helping you through all of your drama, so the least you could have done was just let me know that you're wanting to have a chat with Pepe. You don't need my permission, but just let me know. Then we see Huda pulling TJ for a chat. Now we know how I feel about Huda, right? So they're upstairs, she's flirting really hard with him, all over him, and he's not really reciprocating. It doesn't look like TJ is interested in Huda at all, but she's going to do what she has to do for her to stay into that villa a little bit longer. TJ was so uninterested. TJ started rubbing his eyes to indicate to Huda that he was tired and he wanted to go to bed. And she's like, are you going to pull me tomorrow for a chat? Or do you want me to pull you? He's like, okay, well, I'll pull you for a chat, Huda, if that's what you want. She's trying her hardest with TJ, but he's clearly not interested in her at all. Now, to end episode 16 off, we do see a chat between Andrina and Jeremiah. They connect and get to know each other. He said he's only been in one relationship. She said she's never been in a relationship. And I definitely see the chemistry between these two. They do end the night with a kiss. I am excited to see them exploring their connection a little bit more because I do feel like Jeremiah is being genuine in this moment with Andrina. Now, this is where episode 16 ended. Episode 17 is After Sun. And we take off to episode 18 where Huda is having a conversation with Sierra and Shelly. And they're talking about why she was chosen for most of the questions in the challenge that they had. Shelly tells her girl this was nothing personal. It was just based on who has had the most drama in the house. Now, once Shelly tells her that, here comes the waterworks. She's like, oh my God. The thing is, I love y'all so much and y'all are my friends, but this really hurt my feelings. And I'm just like, girl, cry me a river. Sorry. I might come off as if I'm a little bit ruthless, but I am just so sick and tired of her and her crying and her manipulating, because I just feel like in this moment she should have taken accountability and said, you know what? I may have done a lot of things wrong, but I intend on changing it around. And but she's like, I love y'all so much and y'all are my friends. I was so terrified to make friends. Like, girl. Jeremiah and Iris then have a chat and she tells him she does only see them as being friends. He also agrees, and they both they both share with each other that they kissed the bombshells. Okay, so Iris kissed TJ and Jeremiah kissed Andrina. They both end things off on a good note. She tells him that he deserves love, and Jeremiah tells her that he has her back no matter what, because when everybody was turning against him, Iris was the one who was in his corner. Jeremiah did also say that he wants to take things slow with Andrina. He's not going to approach the situation the same way he did with Huda. He wants to do things a little bit different this time and to build that best friend connection before taking it to the physical place. And as to why they blindsided Jeremiah, we're going to get to that. We're going to get there. Amaya then has a chat with Olandria, and she's saying that Iris pointed out to her that when she calls Austin babe, he makes all kinds of faces. Now, I did say Austin looks a little bit disgusted by Amaya. He looked that way from the time they had the challenge with Meg Thee Stallion, right? So she's like, is it me because everyone has me feeling like I'm crazy? Olandria tells her, girl, no, these men don't know what they want. Now, I did feel for Amaya in that moment because of what she went through with Ace. And now she's having to go through the same thing with Austin in a different way. At least Ace was honest and upfront that he wasn't really into her. But here is Austin pretending, and she did ask him, are you feeling uncomfortable? And he said no. So I feel like Austin should have been upfront with Amaya and letting her know that he feels the ick, or he just does not feel like he's in a place where he wants to continue to explore his connection with her. Nick and Sierra are checking in with each other. They're talking about them taking another step in their relationship because they did get physical. He's saying that for him, he takes a little bit more longer to get physical, even if it was just 25 seconds. Nick has to let us know that it was 25 seconds, okay? But he says that he does like her and he has a lot of feelings for her. Sierra tells Nick that the feeling is mutual, but she does express her frustrations with him and how he was all over the bombshell, and she's been honest with him and letting him know that this did not feel good for her. I love how Sierra is very open and honest about what she's feeling, and she's not afraid to express herself. Nick looked a little bit disappointed that Sierra expressed that to him, and he says to her that the challenge is for them to have fun, but he does have some attraction to Andrina. So Sierra is telling him, I don't know what you're telling the girls when you're having a chat with them, but when it comes to me, I'm very transparent about where I stand with you and the fact that we have this really good connection. Nick tells her, well, you're free to explain. She's like, I know, but all I'm saying is I don't. She's pretty much telling him that she's ready to lock things in with him. And I don't feel like Nick is at that point yet in his relationship with Sierra because he wants to explore more with Andrina. He then tells Sierra that he's looking for someone that he can have a relationship with outside of the villa, and so far Sierra is ticking all of the boxes for him, but he is not closed off, and I am quite disappointed in Nick because if she's checking all of the boxes with you, what are you waiting for? What is missing for you to lock in with her? So it's the next morning in the villa, and we get to see a chat between Taylor, Olandria, and Huda. She's saying that she enjoyed her time with TJ. They had such a good conversation, but the difference is that with Jeremiah, he gave her a lot of reassurance. And when she said that, Taylor was like, that wasn't reassurance, that was obsession. Nick then has a conversation with Ace, and he's talking about Sierra's attitude because when she came to bed the night before, she was just like, I just want to go to bed. And he's like, well, the way I was feeling is like, I'm not about to ask you what's wrong with you. Ace tells him, look, dude, sex takes things to another level and you need to be cautious in the way that you move. Now, Nick's saying that he did tell Sierra that they're on a top level, so she shouldn't be worried about him still wanting to explore his connection with Andrina. But at the same time, Nick, if you're telling her all of those things and you don't want to close off the relationship, that's giving conflicting. Sierra is then with Shelly, and she's filling her in on how she's feeling with the situation with Nick, and she's like, if Nick wants to explore his connection and he wants to be in a couple with somebody else, go do that, but for now she does need some space from him. She does say that she needed some reassurance from Nick and she did not get that from him, and so now she's starting to question herself as to what she missed. It's now later on in the evening and we know everybody's going to be their best dressed. We get to see Taylor and Olandria on a cute little date. She put something together for him because she does want to reciprocate. I would have loved to see Taylor put in a lot more effort like he started to once a bombshell came into the house and was interested in Olandria. Now that Dylan is gone, he's a little bit too laid back to my liking. Now, y'all, every time I see Taylor give Olandria a kiss, it's giving. You know, when you leaving home and your mom or dad will give you a kiss on the cheek before you leave the house, that's what it was giving, except that he was giving it on the on the lips. Do the kisses look uncomfortable to you as well? Please let me know. Then we see another conversation between TJ and Huda, and she's touching all on his body, telling him she likes his shirt, she likes to see those kind of things on men. And TJ is fed up. He's just like, look, Huda, I don't see a connection between us. And you could tell that she was shocked by that because she thought that she was being successful with TJ and that TJ was into her. I don't know, a little bit delulu. But she's like, why? And TJ's like, I don't really have a reason. I just don't see us in that way. I feel like we could be friends. Now, obviously, TJ has been seeing the whole Hurricane Huda and he doesn't want to be a part of Huda. He doesn't like her. He's not attracted to her. Jeremiah has a chat with Andrina and they're both just gooing over each other. Then we zoom in on a conversation between some of the guys and they're saying that this is a cycle. It was literally Ace saying that he feels like Jeremiah is not getting to know anybody else and he zoomed in on Andrina the same way he was with Huda. I don't get what they're saying because we did see him explore with Iris and now Iris wants to explore her connection with TJ as well. So I don't know what the problem is. Now, Jeremiah and Andrina are definitely feeling each other. They definitely have a spark, right? So they started kissing and then, of course, Huda is jealous. She starts clapping. They didn't take them on. They continued kissing and I'm just like, Huda, don't do too much, okay? Nick then gets a text that says, Islanders, please gather at the fire pit immediately. Now we know anytime they head to the fire pit, it's about to go down. So everyone's seated at the fire pit. Huda's phone pings. She gets a text that says America has been voting for their favorite boy and their favorite girl. Ace gets the next text that says the Islanders with the fewest votes risk going home tonight. All of the girls were then asked to stand in the front and those who were saved were Olandria, Sierra, Shelly and Huda. I was surprised that America saved Huda. So the girls left at risk were Iris, Hannah, and Amaya. All of the boys are then asked to stand in the front, and those who were saved were Ace, Nick, and Taylor, which leaves the guys who are not safe as Jeremiah, Peppy, and Austin. So they must now decide which boy goes home and which girl goes home. Now, y'all, I was so nervous because I did not see it coming. Because when Shelly came and she revealed that they decided to send Hannah home, I was shocked. I probably would have sent Amaya home because she hasn't been able to connect with anyone. And they know that she's feeling some type of way because Austin is not really feeling her right now. As to why they picked Hannah is interesting because she does have a connection with Peppy. Once Hannah heard her name, she gave the same cry she gave when Charlie... She gave the same cry that she gave when Charlie left the villa, but she was also pissed because she's like, what the hell? Now, once Taylor stood up and he gave this long speech that made absolutely no sense, talking about the way people have been moving inside of her, oh, it's not personal. I was like, please don't tell me you're sending Jeremiah home. Please don't tell me that's what you're about to do. And guys, they sent Jeremiah home. You all saw him connecting with Andrina. We know Ace doesn't like Jeremiah. He hasn't liked him from the beginning. And this is why they used Taylor to give that long speech that made no type of sense. Huda then gives her final little speech to Jeremiah. You could tell he was over it. He didn't really care. He's not even feeling Huda anymore. He's not thinking about her. He's not worried about her. He's probably just happy that he's not going to see Huda's face anymore. Hannah is crying on Peppy's chest the same way she was crying on the pillow for Charlie. Jeremiah then says goodbye to Andrina, and these two definitely had a connection. They share this long kiss before he leaves the villa. Jeremiah and Hannah head out of the villa, and this is where the episode ends. We know tonight Casa Amor is going to be happening. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. This is all we get to see. But guys, tell me all of your thoughts on this episode. How did you feel about Jeremiah going home? Share all of your thoughts with me. Do you feel just like I feel, like Ace orchestrated that vote? Tell me all of your thoughts below. Go ahead and like this video, share it with a friend, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all in the next one.